Let's say China.
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 China. China.
There are no storm neighbors, and you can actually see Russia from land here in Alaska.
You go over to China. China.
I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
Trump's fake tweeting out insults to Angela Merkel. What's he doing?
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your host.
Yes. Hello, and welcome. I am James Andrews, and you are listening to So This Happened, the only news you need if your IQ is higher than the current president of the United States of America. It's Tuesday, the 10th of October 2017, and I apologise for not being with you yesterday. There were some unfortunate circumstances which led it so that I could not produce the show. I know, it was very sad. I missed you as much as you missed me. Anyway, we're going to jump right in today with Donald Trump, who has challenged Rex Tillerson to an IQ test. That's right, after the reports came out that Rex Tillerson called Donald Trump a moron, the president came out in typical 10-year-old fashion and said, "Oh yeah, I'm a moron? Well, I challenge you to an IQ test challenge." And Rex, it's kind of like the ice bucket challenge from a few years ago where everybody was filling up buckets of water, adding ice, and then pouring it over their head for some charity. And I don't even remember what the charity was, Rex. In fact, I don't think hardly anybody that did the ice bucket challenge knew what the charity was because, let's be honest, most of them were just doing it to put it on YouTube and show their friends. They weren't actually donating the money to a charity. Whew. Anyway, Donald Trump said, "I think it's fake news." That's what he said to the papers, but then he quickly qualified it, but said, "But if he did say that, I guess we'll have to compare IQs tests, and I can tell you who is going to win." He didn't actually go on to say who was going to win, so we're sort of left guessing on that one, so I don't know. Rex or Donald, what do you think? Both scraping the bottom of the barrel there, I think. It's one of the things about Donald Trump, isn't it, that we've seen continually, is he's very, very sensitive when anybody starts to question his intelligence. It seems that every time someone does that, he just shoots back with some, "Oh no, that's just not true because I'm the smartest one ever." And so this whole moron comment, whether or not it actually happened, it's really, really annoyed him. You'll remember even on the campaign trail, he made some great statements. One, and I quote, that he has a very good brain. And then he told a rally in South Carolina that he was highly educated and that he has, and I quote, "the best words." And then in August, he boasted that he was a better student and went to better schools than all of his elite critics. So this moron comment, whether or not it's true or not, it really just makes Donald Trump see red, doesn't it? It's sort of, you question his intellect and he goes, no, I have a very good brain and I have the best words. My words are they're the best words. They're just the best words. They come from my very good brain, so obviously they're going to be the best words, right? If I've got a very good brain, what comes out of it must be the best words from this very good brain that I have in my head. Very good, the best. In fact, you can take that to the bank, it's the best. My very, very good brain has the best words. And he's going to need to use that very good brain and the best words soon because there's a little bit of a fight brewing between his ex-wife, Ivana, and his current wife, Melania. Ivana, Melania. They sound quite similar actually, which is funny because if you look at them, essentially Ivana's just an old Melania. Like when Melania Trump gets old, she's going to look exactly like Ivana Trump. I guess that's his type, isn't it? So you'll have to trade her in for a new model soon. But anyway, Ivana Trump decided to talk on television the other day, and she said this.
I have the direct number to White House, but I don't really want to call him there because Melania is there, and I don't want to cause any kind of jealousy or something like that, because I'm basically first Trump wife, okay? I'm first lady, okay?
Ooh, oh no you didn't, Ivana. I'm first lady, she said. Well, that did not sit very well with the current Mrs. Trump. Melania was pissed. You couldn't tell because she's not really able to express any emotion in her face. That's just an observation. That's not being mean. It's just sort of, you can't tell if she's happy or sad, smiling or crying, because the face, it stays the same. But I guarantee you she was pissed off about that comment. So much so, in fact, that she ordered her spokesperson to release a statement on behalf of the First Lady, and it read as follows. Mrs. Trump has made the White House a home for Barron and the President. She loves living in Washington, D.C. and is honored by her role as First Lady of the United States. She plans to use her title and role to help children, not sell books. There is clearly no substance to this statement from an ex. Unfortunately, only attention-seeking and self-serving noise. Ooh, back at you, Ivana. And the comment in there about not selling books, that's referring to a new book that Ivana Trump wrote called Raising Trump, which sounds absolutely horrific. But the book apparently, and it's not one I've read, and it's not on my reading list, I'll be quite honest with you, but it's a story of how she raised the two psychopaths and the other one. So, well, there we go. But anyway, Melania really is just going to become Ivana. 20 years from now, they will look the same, they sound the same, and that's going to be her. I guarantee you, 20 years from now, Melania will be sitting down on NBC or Fox or wherever, going, well, in the White House, I made the White House. I did the laundry, I did the cooking, I did the cleaning. I did what the Donald wanted me to do. I made home for him in the White House. I made the home. I am the homemaker of the White House. The White House maker, I suppose you could say. And that comment didn't go unnoticed there when she said in the statement, she has made a home for Donald. What the fuck is this? Like 1940? I made a home for him, and when he gets home after a hard day's work, I've got a cocktail waiting for him. And then there's a dinner in the oven, and he sits down, and he can be very grumpy when he comes back, so I just let him sit down, and he has his first cocktail, then I bring dinner out, he has his second cocktail, and then I perform my wifely duties, which is going to require therapy, I'm sure. But that's what I do. I've made a home for Donald. That's fucked up, isn't it? And speaking of other things that are pretty fucked up, Harvey Weinstein, the Hollywood power player who's been accused of rape and a number of cases of sexual harassment, has been fired by his own company. How bad do you have to be fired from your own company? Right? I mean, that's sort of you're not just getting fired from a job you work at. I mean, this is a company that you started and you're in charge of, and you get fired. That's how bad you are. So these allegations come to Harvey Weinstein, and it's a little bit embarrassing for some of the Democrats because he has been a very big donator to a number of Democrats, including the Clintons and the Obamas. Meryl Streep has reportedly called him God. He's sort of been a Democratic favorite for a long time. And then all these allegations come out and he gets fired. And it's unfortunate, really, that we haven't really heard from many of these Democrats. The Clintons have been quite quiet. The Obamas have been quiet. I wish they'd just come right out and said, you know what, we thought he was a good guy, but he's a fuckhead, and so there it is, he's a fuckhead. We don't want to have anything to do with him anymore. I wish they would come out and say that, because that would be good. But one of the things I found particularly interesting or funny, I suppose, about this particular case is Fox News are loving this. They are loving the fact that it's not one of theirs that's been accused of sexual harassment and rape this time around. But what makes it even funnier is the human genital wart Sean Hannity on his program last night gave this big monologue, as he does at the beginning of his show, talking about how disgusting Weinstein was and how, well, let's have a listen to it really quick.
All right, this weekend, more and more disturbing accusations emerged about Hollywood executive and major Democratic donor Harvey Weinstein. Now, after mounting allegations of sexual harassment, Weinstein was actually fired by his own company. That's good news. Now, while details of what Weinstein is accused of doing are beyond shocking, what is even more disturbing is the fact that for 30 years, this guy has been praised by the left, by liberals, by Hollywood and Democrats. Now, let me explain. The website, Voctiv.
Okay, we're not going to let Sean explain because it goes on for way too long and it's really boring and pointless. But the part I find funny about this is you could just replace the name Harvey Weinstein with Roger Ailes or Bill O'Reilly or even Donald Trump. And it would be exactly the same story. But the hypocrisy here is amazing, that Sean Hannity is just saying, this guy is so evil, so bad, rah. But when the same allegations were made against his mate Bill O'Reilly and his mate Roger Ailes and his mate Donald Trump, he said, this is just absolute bullshit. It's not true, blah, blah, blah. And for the record, I think when somebody is accused of sexual assault or rape or sexual harassment, it needs to be taken absolutely serious. And that is the one case I can think of in my mind where you are guilty until proven innocent. And I realise that's not very forgiving or understanding of me. But if someone accuses you of raping them, then I say, yeah, you probably fucking did. Now prove to me that you didn't do it. And so I just find it it's all politics, isn't it? It's all bullshit and politics. There's Sean Hannity saying that this guy Weinstein's an evil son of a bitch because of what he has done. Definitely 100% did it. These accusations must be true. But when it was his mates that got accused of exactly the same thing, he said, no, this is just liberal media making things up. It's not true. None of it happened. And what? We just paid a lot of money, did we, to make these allegations go away? Oh, God. Okay, well, it's still not true, even though we paid millions and millions of dollars to the people that accused Bill O'Reilly to make them shut up. It's not true. It didn't happen. It's all just bullshit politics. Look, if somebody gets accused of sexual harassment or rape, then you're an arsehole until you can prove to me that you're not an arsehole. But if you're getting accused of it, to be honest, you're probably an arsehole for the most part, right? Maybe I'm wrong on that, but Weinstein, you're a fuckhead. Bill O'Reilly, you're a fuckhead. Roger Ailes, you're a fuckhead. Rest in hell, or wherever you are. Donald Trump, you're a fuckhead. So I say it's simple as that. I hate it when people play politics on this, and that's why I wish that some of these people that took money from Harvey Weinstein, the Obamas, Clintons, some of the big Hollywood celebrities would just come out and say, you know what, Harvey Weinstein, you are a fuckhead. And I don't want to have anything to do with you ever again. End of story. I think they do need to come out and do that because you know this cry of hypocrisy, I suppose in some ways, is justified in that a lot of these people came out very strongly against Roger Ailes, Bill O'Reilly, and Donald Trump when they were accused of sexual harassment. But when their friend is, they're kind of just quiet on it. They're not denied anything, but at the same time, they've just not said anything. So I'm calling right now for anybody that has taken money or, said good things about Harvey Weinstein just to stand up and say, Harvey Weinstein, you are a fuckhead. And oh my goodness, this is unbelievable, and it just shows the reach that So This Happened has. Hillary Clinton just spoke out moments ago and said that she was shocked and appalled about the allegations and that such behaviour cannot be tolerated. So, look at that. Hillary Clinton apparently is a listener of So This Happened. You heard it here first, and it is probably the only place you will hear it. But okay, that's great. That's good. Now we need more people to come out and say the same thing. They don't have to say fuckhead. That's optional. I think her statement would suffice. Although I think if it says, I am shocked and appalled to learn of the revelations and such behaviour cannot be tolerated, P.S. he's a fuckhead, would have had a better ring to it. But maybe that's just my mind. Anyway, it looks like we are out of time for the day. Anyway, thanks you very much for joining me. It was a good conversation as always, and we will do it again tomorrow, halfway through the week, so that's brilliant. Anyway, take care of each other and have fun. Goodbye.